What's up, everybody? It's the Gambler. It's time for another walk, another talk. But we won't be walking today again. We won't be walking today. It is cold out there. It is cold. It's in the low 30s. And I was like, I ain't gonna be able to do it. I was trying to walk, but I was like, I ain't gonna be able to do it. I just won't. I just can't. I ain't gonna be able to do it. So, since it's so cold out there, it's I was like, okay, then let me come in and get by the fireplace, and it's Christmas time anyway, so chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung like some Eskimos. Yeah. That was my version of that song. But anywho, this is where we're at. So what are we talking about today? What we're talking about today, I thought we'd talk about some fun, since the last couple of videos might have felt like chastisement or me telling you what to do and all this kind of stuff. But hey, it's real life, real talk. But this talk, I want to talk about something fun. So I thought, why don't we talk about intimacy? Do you all, with your significant others and partners, do you have intimacy in your relationship? Do you know what intimacy is? Like, some people don't even really know what intimacy is. It can easily get confused with love. It can get confused with sex. It can get confused with confusion. It could just be confusing. But let's talk about intimacy. So, do you have intimacy in your relationship? Is a good question. And do you know if you have intimacy in your relationship? Do you know if your significant other like intimacy? Because some people don't like being intimate. It may sound strange, but some people don't like intimacy. And then some people really love it. I love intimacy. I think it's because I'm going to go back to that. I'm a Leo. If you look at the Leo sign, zodiac sign, we love intimacy. I can't speak for all Leos, but I know this Leo love intimacy. Giving it and receiving intimacy. I love giving intimacy, and I love receiving intimacy. And I'm not going to proclaim to be like the love, which, my personality, I probably think I am the lover, But no, I probably got work I could do in that department. And when I think about intimacy, it make me think about love languages. I got that list, and I'm going to read it off. At least I'm going to try to read it off. I don't have my readers. And that's another thing that they don't tell you about getting old, that you have to have readers. I forever had 20/20 vision, really, my whole life. And all of a sudden, the words on the page started getting blurry. And I'm like, what is going on? What's going on with my eyes? And I went to the eye doctor and like, hey, something ain't right here. These words is like they running into each other and I can't make them out. And what's going on? And your eyes the muscles in your eyes get weaker at a certain point of age. For some, it could be sooner or later than others. Of course, mine didn't happen till I got into my 50s. But they say it can happen as early as in your 40s. So, you have to have reader glasses on. And now I understand why, my mom would have on some reader glasses hanging at the bottom of the tip of your nose, because I have them now and I'll put them on. And actually I should. Okay, I'll be right back because I'm going to go get those reader glasses so I can make sure I can read these languages to y'all. So hold on one second. Let me go get these reader glasses real quick. Hold on. Okay, so I'm back. I got the readers. Here they go. All right. So there are 5 love languages. One is words of affirmation, expressing affection through spoken words, praise, compliments, verbal encouragement. Those are words of affirmation. That's one love language. Number 2 love language, quality time. Giving a loved one your undivided and focused attention, engaging in meaningful conversations, activities together without distractions. I was just talking to you guys yesterday about being emotionally attached to things and you're not able to give that time to your significant other or a family member or a loved one. And in this case, we're talking about your significant other and your partner. And that's what this is talking about, the quality time. Another one, third one, receiving gifts. It says giving and receiving thoughtful, meaningful items that serve as physical symbols of love and affection. It is about the thought and effort behind the gift and not the materialistic part of the gift. Okay. The fourth one, acts of service. Performing helpful tasks and chores for a partner to ease their burden, such as cooking a meal, doing the laundry, or running an errand. The fifth one is physical touch, expressing love through physical gestures like hugging, kissing, holding hands, cuddling, and other forms of physical intimacy. So those are the 5. So I might keep pulling this cheat sheet up to talk about them in case they come up in the conversation. So there you have it, the 5 love languages. So now that you know the 5 love languages, it's sort of like, I think they have a quiz out there. Oh, let me take these off so I can see. Because that's the negative thing about readers. You can read with them, but you can't see with them. I'm like, duh, who came up with that idea? You should be able to see and read with them. Scientists or whoever developed readers, I need for y'all to go back to the drawing board and make them so that you can read with them and you can see with them. Really? That's like rocket science. But anyway, so I had to take them off because I can't see with them if I ain't reading nothing. Okay, so intimacy. Let's talk about the people who are shy and embarrassed to have intimacy with your partner or your significant other. What are you scared of? I mean, what is it that makes you really afraid to be intimate, like to show or give intimacy or engage in intimacy? Ask yourself that question and try to find the answer, because there isn't anything to be afraid of. It could be one of the most beautiful things that you can share with your partner, intimacy. It could be relaxing. I know for me, it's relaxing. It could be a stress reliever. It's just so many positive things about intimacy. It can help with mending problems and issues that you may have or may be going through in your relationship. It can help with that. You know, there are a lot of times that we have our partners and we have two situations going on. You have a situation where you love your partner, but you're not in love with your partner. Those are two different things. Are you in love with them or do you love them? And depending on the answer to that can have an impact on the level of intimacy that you share with your partner. So if you love them, but you're not in love with them, I would think that you're more likely not to be so interested in intimacy. You'll be happy to receive it. I imagine everybody happy to be on the receiving end. The problem probably most cases comes in is on the giving side of it. Like, I ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that, especially if I don't love you. If I ain't in love with you, I sure don't have time for giving you no intimacy, child boo. You know, that's where people be. I mean, I'm keeping it real. That's where a lot of people be. So a good question to start when we go start talking about intimacy is, one, are you in love with your partner or do you love your partner? That's a whole nother talk. We probably dive down into that a little deeper and have a conversation. We need to talk about it because that needs to go further than this conversation. This conversation and this talk is about intimacy. But if the answer to that question is not, I love my partner and I'm in love with my partner. If it's not both of those, then we need to talk a little more. So we'll have another talk. Because it could either be, I love my partner, but I'm not in love with my partner. I'm in love with my partner, but I don't really love my partner. That's deep. You can be in love with your partner, but you don't love them. And there could be many reasons of why you don't love them. I'm not going to go into that because I said that's another talk. We're talking about intimacy. I keep trying to pull me over here to talk about love and in love. But if you're in love, I'm going to go ahead and touch on this one. If you're in love with your partner, but you don't love your partner, that's a real deep one. That could lead over into that you really don't like the person you're with. So they might not really even need to be your partner. And then the flip side of that, you love them, but you're not in love with them. That can get even deeper. The light might have gotten turned on. You know what? This started out talking about intimacy. But we might have to come back to intimacy because we might have to stay over here on the love. Something driving me to stay over here on the love. Maybe y'all need to hear about the love part before you can even get to the intimacy. So I might need to flip these talks around. So we're gonna flip this around and we're gonna talk about the love and being in love and what's the difference of the two. So if you find that you're in love with your partner, well, we went over there. If you're in love with your partner and you don't love them, we're gonna flip on that of being you love your partner, but you're not in love with your partner. There's many reasons that you could not be in love with your partner. You know, one of them songs like "The Love Is Gone." The love may be gone. It might, that fire and desire, Teddy Pendergrass, that desire and that fire, something may have smothered it out. What's going on that you love your partner, but you're not in love with them? That's deep. It could be I'm going to keep it real. It could be they hurt you. They did something that hurt you to the core. They broke your heart. And that action caused you to not be in love with them anymore. It could be that. It could be they don't speak your love language. They don't speak it enough. The love language is those 5 love languages. They don't speak it at all. And therefore, you don't feel love from them. You don't feel it. You don't get that intimacy. You don't feel that love. Therefore, being in love with them is just not there. That fire is not burning there for them. And you have to be careful with it, because now remember I told y'all that devil out there, and he be watching and he be on his game. When I tell you that devil bad, he is bad, y'all. It's hard to beat him. You can beat him. You can beat him almost every time. But it's hard. It's challenging because he's so slick. He just slick. He's slick and smooth. He just bad, y'all. He bad. He B-A-D. He bad. So when you have them situations and you not in love with your partner, guess what? That's when that devil, he creep, 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 creep. He actually make you creep, 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 creep. And you be creeping out. Y'all know some of y'all creeping right now. Some of y'all thinking about creeping. Some of y'all creeping right now. If you creeping, stop it. Cut it. It's not healthy. It's not going to end well. It never ends well to creep, to cheat. It don't end well. I ain't even got to go into that. That's another whole talk. Anyway, so not being in love with your partner can lead to, it's just not healthy. It's just not a good thing. And you need to look at that thing and you need to find out why you're not in love with your partner. And if you really love your partner, then you need to figure it out. And if you don't really love your partner, like you ain't in love with them, and you don't really love them, then the question you need to ask yourself is, why the hell are you with them? I think it's about that time. that last chapter in that book get written and that book get closed. Because that's what it sounds like to me, that that season is up. It has come and gone. I don't know. I'm just keeping it real. Sounds like it's over. Sounds like we've come to the end of the road, and I can't let go. It's whatever. I can't remember the words right now. Maybe it's because I'm in front of the camera. But anyway, you get the picture. So, and that's the song by Boys to Men, in case somebody didn't know what song that was. End of the road. Maybe you've come to the end of the road. And also you need to ask yourself, what am I doing here? Deborah Cox, how did you get here? Or did I get here? How did you get there? I can't sing, y'all. I really, really can't sing. It ain't working in front of a camera though. I sing better off of the camera. But anyway, just in case I'm not hitting some notes or what have you, and I'm not singing the right melody to the songs, I really can sing. At least I think I can sing. If you ask somebody else, they gonna say no. But don't believe them, believe me. Believe me, I can sing. So how did you get there? And now that you're there, what are you gonna do about it? Because remember what I said, life and time is important. Your life is important, and every minute should be well spent. You don't have time to waste, and don't be wasting time on somebody that, one, you're not in love with, and then two, you don't discover that you don't even really love them. So you need to be making some decisions, making some arrangements that you might need to be getting out of that marriage, you might need to be getting out of that relationship, whatever it may be, however it's structured, you may need to be ending the chapter and ending the book, closing the book on that. But then, on the flip side of that, you love them, you ain't in love with them, but you ain't quite ready to close that book on them. Then that's another whole story. That's another talk. But I'm going to give an overview of it in this talk. Then that's when you need to try to figure out why I am not in love with them. Or you could even be bold and tell them. Get them to help you figure out, because half of the time it's probably them why you ain't in love with them. It's probably their fault. It ain't probably yours. It's probably their fault. Odds are it's probably their fault that you are not in love with them. So lay it at their feet. Make them figure it out. Maybe you don't need to figure it out. Maybe they need to figure it out. But it needs to get figured out. If you're not in love with them and you love them and you would like to be in love with them, or you remember what being in love with them was like and you would like to get that back, or being in love with them, you know it could be a beautiful thing in the future, so you would like to be back in love with them. Or maybe you were never in love with them, but you would like to experience what it's like to be in love with them. So then you need to figure all those things out and try to figure out how to get it or how to fix it. It's either one of them. Either you had it or you didn't have it and you want it. So, that's a mouthful. So, if you're in love with them, be bold and, like I was saying, go to them and talk to them about it. I think you should do that. Honesty and truth, good always comes out of honesty and truth. On the surface, it might, when you being honest with somebody and They slap the hell out your face. On the surface, it might not feel like it was good to tell them the truth. Because they don't slap the hell out of you. Okay. The gambler said, it's good that will come out of honesty and truth. Good always come out of honesty and truth. In your case, it just wasn't instant. But it's coming. Just hang in there. Put a little ice on your cheek. It's coming. The good will come. But, jumping back to it, maybe be honest with your partner and tell them, I love you. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna tell you how to do it. And I'm gonna be you right now. And I'm gonna step in your shoes and I'm gonna tell you how to do it. Like how to do it. Tony, how to do it. Okay, I'm gonna tell you. how to do it. Here we go. I'm fit to be you. And I'm talking to your partner. Babe. Boo. I love you. But there's been some things on my mind that's really been, bothering me. And I've been doing a lot of thinking about our relationship. And I've been doing a lot of thinking about us. And I also been listening to the gambler. Walking with the gambler. I've been walking with the gambler and talking with the gambler. And it just started me to thinking about some things. And the things that it started me to thinking about was how I'm spending time in my life and making sure that every day of my life is valued and is counted. And I'm living it the best that I can. And I'm getting the most out of it that I can. And in thinking about all that, it made me think about you. Yeah. Yeah, girl, it made me think about you. Oh, yeah, boy, it made me think about you. And what it made me think is how I feel about you. And the way I feel about you is that I love you. But now don't take this the wrong way, because I don't mean it the wrong way. I'm just trying to get to some positivity. And I'm just trying to get to some success in our marriage or in our relationship. Whatever the case is, you feel it in. Okay, I'm going back into my role. Okay. And I'm sitting here looking at you and I'm thinking, it's hard to tell you the truth, but I got to tell you the truth. I got to tell you the truth. Well, because the gambler told me I need to tell you the truth. No. Okay, back in. I'm telling you the truth because I did some self-evaluation and I realized something I found out, it bothers me and it don't sit well with me. And I wanna figure it out and I wanna fix it. And I wanna figure it out and I wanna fix it with you. And that is if you want to stay with them. It's gonna be different. You're gonna say something differently. You're gonna say something. That is if you want to stay with them. You're gonna say something differently if you don't want to stay with them. Going back. So what I want to figure out and work out with you, and what I want to be transparent with you about, is that I realize that I love you dearly. but I'm not in love with you. And there's a difference. And I want to be in love with you. But in order for me to be in love with you, I've got to figure out the why. I've got to answer that question of why. And I might need your help in answering that question. Okay, so there you go. That's how you can say it to them. In that smooth way. I can't help it if I came across smooth, y'all. I can't help it. That's just me. I'm sorry. You say it the way that you feel comfortable saying it. But that just gave you, an example of how to have that conversation. And then together, you two can figure out why you're not in love. If they had something to do with it or if they didn't. Now, that's if you want them to help you with figuring out why you're not in love with them. If you don't want them to help you, if you want to be incognito and you don't want them to know that you ain't in love with them and you want to figure that out yourself, then yeah, that's how you go. You're gonna go about that a whole nother way. You're not gonna even have that talk. You're gonna go off somewhere and try to figure out what happened and why you're not in love. And if you want to be in love with them, what you need to do to get that fire and desire back and be in love with them. If you don't want to be in love with them, you got to go and figure out how you break up with them. Now, some people it's easy to break up with. Some people it's very hard. You might need to pack your bags beforehand and move to Alaska and tell them you breaking up with them. Some people you have to do that because some people you just can't leave them. Some people ain't gonna let you go. And y'all probably know if you with somebody that you just can't leave them. You know it's gonna be a hard time. You know that you gonna catch hell when you try to leave them. You already know. I don't have to tell you. You know who you with. So in any case, hey, you may have to leave. That may be one of your answers. So that's the truth. All that is the truth. I keep it real. I'm just telling you, keeping it real. So, understanding and knowing if you're in love with your partner or you love your partner. These allergies, I'm in the inside and these allergies is acting up on me still. Oh God. Eyes running in the inside. So I would hate to think if I was outside, it would be even worse. I need to put on some shades in the inside. I don't think that would help. But anywho, so that's why I keep, my eyes, allergies, and that, I think that's another aging thing they don't tell you about. I never dealt with allergies, and all of a sudden, here goes some allergies. I'm like, really? Oh. But anywho, I'm sitting by this fireplace too. Here it go. The sweating. I had to cut the fireplace off. Okay, so this isn't going to be long and drawn out. I can go on and try to wrap this up because it's just really I really wanted to touch on intimacy, and I got over on love and loving the one that you're with and being in love with the one you're with and knowing the difference. So I'm hoping that I covered enough things or enough in that topic to get you to ask yourself the question. And once you get the answer to the question, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with the answer? Oh, but before I conclude or wrap up, let's go, since we're still talking about love, let's go and talk about those 5 love languages. And if you're with someone, you need to know their love language. And you need to implement their love language every opportunity you get. And if you're with someone, you need to know your love language. And you need to demand, notice that I didn't say require or request. You need to demand that they speak your love language. Those are the two things that you definitely need to do. That needs to happen when it comes to love in the relationship. My number, and when you identify your love language, because there's a quiz out there that you can take to help you figure out what your love language is. Y'all can take the quiz together, y'all can take it individually, but you just basically ask the question, out of those 5 things, which one of those things would you make number 1 for yourself? So let's go for yourself. So whoever watching this, I'm finna help you figure out what's your love language. Out of those 5 love languages, which one of those mean the most to you if you can only have one of them? Out of the 5, if you can only have one, which one means the most? Which one would you want to be stuck on the island with? And you can only have one of them. Pick that one. That one that you picked, odds are that is your primary love language. That's your top love language. Let it only be one. It could be more than one. You're going to have more than one love language. But let's find that one, that primary one, that turn on the lights, turn off the lights, as Teddy Pendergrass say. That lights your fire, that just does everything, that make you want to give them all the money out your pocket, that make you want to just do everything for them, that make you just fall in love with them, that make you just stay in love with them. That's the one. That's the top primary love language, your primary love language. For example, mine is touch, physical touch. That's my number 1 love language. It's simple. You could just touch me. Touch me in the morning, then just walk away. Okay, that was Diana Ross. Touch me in the morning. I don't know why I'm singing so much today. I do it a lot. It's probably going to start coming out in the talks. You're going to pick up that, I'll say lines from movies, and I'll sing lines from verses from songs when it just hit me, and I just do it out the blue. That's something about my personality, and it's something that I do. My friends and family, everyone, they used to it. You guys are my friends and family now, so y'all just gonna have to get used to it. So if I don't sound too good when I sing, no, I don't know what to tell you. Mute it, but you ain't gonna know. You ain't gonna know until it happens. So you ain't gonna be able to mute the. So anyway, you might as well get used to it. Okay, where was I? Got on another one of them tangents. Yeah, helping you figure out your love language. So now that you know what's your primary love language, we're going to get you to pick a second one. Now you got 4. Out of those 4, now, you can only pick one. Out of those 4, what would you go on an island with? If you had to be on an island, you're going to be on an island with one of them. Which one of those would you want to be on the island with? That's your second love language. And your second one, in some cases, can be just as important as the primary one. The secondary one can be. And like I said, it could be equal in some cases. But now you know which one is the most important for you and which one is number two. So your partner knowing this, and you're going to share this information with your partner. Them knowing this information now can help them in speaking your love language. You're going to communicate that with them if y'all didn't do it together. If you're doing it individually, you tell them what your love language is. And if they have no idea what you're talking about, you tell them what a love language is and what's yours, and that you want them to start speaking your love language. And that you're not taking nothing less. I need my love language spoken. It needs to be spoken to me. And I want it spoken to me. There you go. So that's the same way now that you know how to determine and figure out your love language. Your partner needs to know their love language. And plus, like I said, they need to know how to speak your language. So you may have to help them and tell them what are some things that they could do to speak your language. So you won't want to leave that out. You don't told them to speak your language, but then you ain't told them how to speak your language. You just assuming that they know how to speak your language. Don't make assumptions. Let me say that again. Don't make assumptions. When it comes to love and being in love, don't make assumptions. So don't assume they know how to speak a love language. Don't assume they know what a love language is. And don't assume they know how to love you. Because some people don't know how to love somebody. They don't. Some people don't even know how to be in love. And that's sad, but it's true. Some people haven't experienced love. And even though all of us have parents and we came from somebody, so you had parents, you have parents or you had parents, some of us never experienced love. Because your first love sometimes can come from your parents. Some people, their first love may come from their God. But in most cases, sometimes your first love can come from your parent, a parent or parents or both parents. And it doesn't have to be the people who birthed you. A parent it's a broad spectrum. A parent could be grandmother, aunt, the best friend. A parent is somebody who cared for you and nurtured you and helped you in your upbringing. And you could be grown as hell and you still need a parent because you still need upbringing and nurturing. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Some of you run around here acting like kids today. And sometimes I act like a kid. You know, I'm going to be transparent and true. Sometimes I do. I can do some stupid stuff. I really can. I can do some childish stuff. It's rare. But, hey. Anywho, that's another tangent. But y'all used to my tangents by now, too. So, you might need to tell them how to speak your love language or help them. So, don't assume that they know just because you told them. And when you know your love language, it will be easier for you to understand your partner's love language or how to speak your partner's love language. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Now that you guys know about love language and you know that you need to know if you're in love with your partner and that you love your partner, or you're not in love with your partner and you don't even love your partner, you know that's a question that you need to get the answer to. And whatever the answer is, you now know that you need to build on it. Either way, either or. Because either side, depending on you, can be positive. Either one of them can be positive. Not being in love can be positive. Might mean that you don't need to be with who you with. Not loving a person can be positive. Might mean that you don't need to be with them. It might mean that, hey, it's a whole nother book that's ready to be written. It's a whole nother several chapters that's ready to be wrote. It's a whole nother life that's ready to be lived by you. If you just drop that zero and get with you a hero. Not meaning that they're zero. I'm not saying that. But you might have to drop them. Drop them off. Go leave them at somebody else's doorstep because they ain't your problem no more. It might be the case. Or you might need to embrace. You might need to write out you some notes for your new chapters that you're adding to your book with the person that you with. Making new memories, beautiful memories together. Enjoying being in love and loving the person that you with. So those are the questions to answer and to ask yourself, and how to deal with the answers to those questions. We're going to talk about this subject a lot more. So we're going to get more in depth in it. And I'm sure on several of our talks, we're going to have more talks about it. But that's what this talk was about. I started out wanting it to be about intimacy. We're going to have another talk about intimacy because I just left intimacy, just dropped it off at the doorstep and just left it. But I felt like we needed to talk about love. So now that we don't talk about love, we can come back and we can talk about intimacy because now we got something to work with. So I've enjoyed you guys. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I'm looking forward to another talk and another walk. And hopefully if the weather permits. It was just too cold out there. And what I'm experiencing now that it's either too cold or it's raining or the weather permits, we'll be walking again. But until then, I'm still going to find a way to talk to y'all. So don't worry about that. I got you covered there. We're going to talk. We're going to have these talks. We're going to have these talks. So thank you. Appreciate you. Love you guys. If you got value from this video, if you didn't get value from this video, hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, help me out. I really would appreciate it. And I am going to see you guys on the other side of another video. Love you.